I think I'm live. Hi, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on wherever you are watching in from. Today is Tuesday, January 14th. I always have to click on the calendar to make sure I have the date right because, us work at home people never know what day it is, never know what date it is. I always have to check. How are you guys doing? So good to see some of you already joining in. Say hi in the chat and let me know if this is the first live stream that you ever watched of mine or if you've been here a while and you've seen a few. I'd love to know. So hi, Military World, Beauty with Hamna, Bruno Wick, Inside the Lab, PC Tech. Hi. Thank you for joining. Where are you guys joining from? What are you up to this Tuesday? Let me know all the details. Meanwhile, I'll tell you a little bit about what to expect on this particular live stream. So what we're doing today is we're doing a very special live stream called habit creation. So we're going to be talking about how to create great habits, sticky habits, good habits for consistency in video creation. Now, I know that consistency is a sticky point, so we're going to be talking about sticky habits. A play on words there. Okay. Yes, I laugh at my own jokes. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is, since it's the new year and we're all trying to get, our resolutions done and our goals done, and we want to try new things, it's a good time to start building good habits. And I'm heavily inspired by the book that I'm going to talk a little bit about, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And I've been reading it, and it's one of the few books that I've actually read cover to cover. I don't normally have the patience to read books like every single page, but yeah, this book, first of all, I really wanted to know how to create good habits, and I just really, really wanted to learn habit creation. And I wanted to create some great habits for myself, for my business, who I am as an entrepreneur. So I really dug in deep, really paid attention to the lessons, like with a highlighter. Okay, who uses a highlighter when reading books? I was not that person, but I am now. So anyway, so what I want to take you through is I do have a presentation prepared for you, and I want to showcase some examples, showcase some graphs and illustrations to show you how habit creation might work for you. As we get into this live stream, though, what I would really love to know is for you to answer this one question for me in the chat. Okay, what is the habit that you want to create in 2020 with regards to your YouTube videos? That habit could be I want to create one video a week. It could be I want to get more consistent. It could be that I want to get started. I want to have better quality. I want to have better thumbnails. I want to have better production quality. Whatever that habit might be, actually creating videos, whatever that challenge is for you, let me know in the comments below. What is the habit that you want to create with regards to creating YouTube videos? Inside the Lab is saying, I'm prepping for a few videos this weekend. Awesome. Me too. MHD SDK, me using a highlighter. Yay, I'm not alone. We're using a highlighter. And also, I have my tea. It's super cold here today. It's like, I don't know, 8 degrees or something. Unprecedented cold temperatures for Karachi, where I live. So anyway, so MSD is saying one video in 20 days for sure. That's a good way to start. Absolutely agree with setting realistic goals. And I did a poll recently about which would be better. Do you want to set realistic goals or build sticky habits? And 70% of you chose sticky habits or building good habits. So I think you understand the value of habit creation. So let's just get stuck into our presentation today. So what I'm going to do is I'm on Zoom here. And I want to share my screen. First, let me open up my presentation. And then I want to share my screen here with you guys. So this is on Keynote. So hopefully you can see that. Let me just take a look on mobile here because I don't want to move away from the screen. I'm trying out Zoom as a live streaming software. I did it once before and I wanted to try it out. So you can see my screen. Perfect. Let me just mute this. All right. Yes, Bruno, it is 8 in Karachi. It's kind of shocking. Akash is saying, what should I make videos about? Akash, I can't really answer that for you. There's a lot of I hope so. All right, so let's start. Hopefully you can see me in the corner there. You can see the presentation as well. So let's get going with this. So how to form stickable habits to create consistent videos. Now, I will say in the beginning, this is the Patreon live stream. I have a membership on Patreon. So if you want to join this live stream, you can actually be inside the live stream as a participant if you are on my Patreon live streaming tier. So that is the second tier that I have. The first one is just a basic tier, and the second one is a live streaming tier. So I do monthly live streams, and every I think if I'm going to do 4 live streams in a month, so every 4th live stream is going to be a Patreon live stream, which means that you can actually join in and participate as a member, and we can actually have a one-to-one conversation here or a back and forth conversation here live while we broadcast to YouTube as well. So that is something that I'm offering on the Patreon membership, live streaming membership level. So go and check that out. All the links, all the links, all the links to everything that I mentioned is going to be in the description. So you can, anything that I mentioned, go and check out the description for more information on how to get there, how to go there. Alrighty, so let's start this off. Okay, and one more sip of tea, yeah. Alrighty. So this is the book that I was mentioning. So it's called Atomic Habits. I've been reading it maybe I think all of December 2019, getting all these ideas brewing in my head. It has been on the New York Times bestseller list for 8 months consecutively. So clearly it's very popular. And the book talks about building habits from a very different standpoint from what I've read about habits so far. And one of its biggest differentiators is that it talks about a system to get 1% better every day. As you can see in the tagline there, tiny changes, remarkable results. So the tiny changes refers to 1% better. And we're going to get into how to get 1% better using with your video creation. One quote that James Clear likes to say all the time, including in the book, is you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. Meaning, of course, that you don't become a better person because you've set a big goal for yourself, but you become a better person by following the habits, which is indicative of the systems that you've built in your life. Because his theory is that you cannot stay motivated all the time. So it's better to have a system to rely on when motivation fails, when bad days come, when things happen, as they inevitably will. It also talks about why tiny changes make a big difference. And there's a great example in the book, which I'm going to discuss, on how habits compound over time. And finally, the actual practical part of this presentation is around the 4 laws of habit formation and how to apply them to consistent video making. So we're going to take each of the 4 laws discussed in the book, and we're going to apply them to how you can use that to either get started on YouTube, get consistent, or any other platform. So it's about video making, so any other platform. I want to say hi to everyone joining in. Scully's House of Thrillers, Dean Reynolds Media. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining in. The question to answer in the live chat is, what is the #1 habit that you want to create with regards to YouTube and video in 2020? What is that #1 habit that you want to create? Put it down in the chat. Also, you can purchase the book Atomic Habits, which has been honestly an amazing read for me. I think I've put the link in the description. Let me check. Yes, I have. So the link is in the description if you want to go and purchase this book either right now or at the end of this live stream. Wait until the end of this live stream, and you can go and read this book. I think that it is really, really good in terms of helping you understand the psychology of building better habits for how you behave, so that you don't rely on external sources like motivation, and you don't rely, well, motivation is not really external, but you don't rely on just trying to feel like creating videos. You don't try to feel like you're going to do better this year, but you actually build systems that even when you don't feel like doing things, you can rely on your systems to get things done and get your results. And with that said, let's go on to what is the 1% rule of habit creation. So he gives a really good example in the book, which I wanted to illustrate. So the illustrations are mine, the examples are his. So he says that a plane taking off from Los Angeles to New York has a certain trajectory. So you take off, you point the nose in a certain direction, and you go from Los Angeles to New York, right? However, if the pilot points the nose of the airplane only 3.5 degrees south, so just a tiny little shift down below, he's going to end up in Washington, D.C. instead of New York City. So a small change over a large space or a large period of time causes a compound effect, and he's going to land hundreds of miles apart. So what that really demonstrates is that tiny little 1% changes when he's steering that airplane. And that obviously that's not how you steer the airplane. It's more of the actual, what's it called? It's the stick gear. But when he's actually steering that airplane, what direction he's pointing it in is going to make a big difference, of course, to where he lands. And 1% changes or 1 degree changes are going to really impact the final landing spot, right? So, yes. Hey, Olga. Yeah, so I found this example so illustrative in terms of how you look at your life, because we often talk about YouTube as a long game, and we often say that be in it for the long haul and, know your why and get stuck into your topic and, you become the go-to expert in your topic and all of that. And I really like this analogy for YouTube videos, because if you're starting from zero, let's say you're in Los Angeles right now and you want to get to New York City, you want to make sure that you stay on course. And you also want to make sure that you are making small adjustments during this entire process to stay on course. So the 1% really refers to constant improvement, to constant adjustments, to constantly keeping the goal in mind and then developing the systems to get there. So for the aircraft, it's the guidance systems, the navigation systems. For you, it's the habit creation systems. So that's the analogy, which I absolutely love. The thing that I added to this analogy, this is of my own little creative spin on this, is a point of inflection. So if you notice, the way that he's proceeding towards this direction, there is a point of almost like a point of no return, right? It's the point of inflection where your habits either start to work for you, or in case of bad habits, they start to erode your life, right? So let me give you a quick example. The point of inflection is when you start doing something, you do it every day. Like, let's say you go to the gym. You go to the gym every day, you haven't lost weight. Then the other day, you haven't lost weight either. 3 days in, you still haven't lost weight. A week in, you still haven't lost weight, let's say. But there comes a time, which I'm calling the point of inflection, is when you start to see a change. You start to see a difference. Suddenly somebody you meet who sees you after a long time says, hey, you look like you've lost weight, right? So small discernible changes are not noticeable to you all the time, but there comes a point of inflection when your changes become noticeable both to you and to other people, right? So the point of inflection works both ways. So if you're building a bad habit, suddenly it might seem like, oh, well, if I binge eat today, or if I don't make a video today, well, it doesn't really matter. But over a period of time, your bad habits are going to compound and you're going to be way off course than where you intended to be. So the same principle applies for good habits and the same principle applies for bad habits. So I thought this was a really powerful analogy of how to look at your life in terms of, okay, what are you creating? How many videos? How much are you putting yourself out there? And how to make sure that you stay the course. So that's what the 1% changes mean. And habits compound over time. So if you get 1% better each day for an entire year, you'll be 37% better by the end of 2020. So who wants to tell me in the comments below, do they want to be 37% better by the end of 2020? Give me a thumbs up if that is something that you want to do. And if that is the goal that you want to set, be better, do better, make more, have better marketing, reach more people, have more subscribers, make more money, get more clients, get more opportunities, whatever that 30% better might look like to you, give me a thumbs up if that is one of your goals. And I'm going to help you build the systems to get to that goal. So let's get stuck into this. Okay, so some examples on a broad level is what might that 1% look like for you? Well, maybe it might mean one extra video a month, which over the course of the entire year means 12 more opportunities to be discovered in the year, 12 more times that people might find you, 12 more times that brands might approach you, 12 more times that AdSense might give you more money, 12 more opportunities to go viral perhaps, right? So just one extra video a month, just one more means compound effect of 12 more opportunities in your life, right? One more hour spent on video SEO results in higher search engine rankings. So maybe you make a video, it ranks on page 3. Maybe if you spent an hour, you could get to page 1 rankings, which means more visibility for your videos. More people are going to find you. More people are going to discover you. You're going to rank higher. You're going to get more views. You're going to get more followers and subscribers and comments, right? Maybe one more day spent optimizing thumbnails can lead to a higher click-through rate. So click-through rate is how many people click through to watch your video, and thumbnails play a huge part in whether we decide to click on YouTube videos or not. So maybe spending another day tweaking your thumbnails or using a tool like TubeBuddy to A/B test different thumbnails. So you say, okay, well, I'm not sure if this thumbnail is going to perform better or this thumbnail. Well, you use TubeBuddy to do an A/B test and they'll tell you which thumbnail performs better. So maybe taking a day to remake all of your thumbnails according to your newfound research. So those are some ways and examples of what 1% better could look like for your video creation process. Let me know if any of these are making sense, hitting home, are goals of yours, things you want to achieve. I would love, love, love to know that. Okay. So I'm going to give you 2 seconds to read all this. All right. So one of the biggest reasons why I want to focus on systems rather than goals are because goals, while they're great and they're part of, understanding your vision, but they do have some drawbacks. And I've listed 4 drawbacks on this slide here. One is that everyone has the same goals, right? People who succeed and people who fail, they all want the big mansion, more money, more credibility, more visibility. Everybody wants the same thing. So goals doesn't differentiate you, really. The second, downside of only setting goals is that they give you a momentary change. So it's like, once you reach your goal, then what, right? It's very short term. The third is that they don't always lead to fulfillment and happiness. So my theory is always you should be happy during the journey, not necessarily at the end of it. Because who wants to be miserable while you're building success and while you're building your business? Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever to be miserable during the journey. And when I say build a brand you love, I'm talking about doing something you love every day, like having fun doing it, loving yourself, being creative, enjoying the process, right? And goals aren't going to make you enjoy the process more. Your systems are, your habits are, right? And the fourth one is that goals are at odds with long-term progress. So often it happens that as soon as you've reached a goal, you revert back to the bad habits that caused you to, want to change yourself to begin with. So you don't want to be there. You want to make sure that you're actually changing your life for the better and not just following, a fad diet and then returning back to being overweight. Like, that's not the goal. The goal is to build a healthy body, right? Build a healthy mind, not lose 100 pounds. So what can we do to achieve better systems and better habits? And it all starts internally. So what you want to do is identify who you are. So habits are a very integral part to who you are. So there's identity right in the center, then which is who you are. Then there's the process that you use to become who you are. And then there's the outcome that you achieve at the end of that process. So let me give you a quick example. In the book, James Clear talks about somebody who's trying to quit smoking. And one person says, well, I'm not going to smoke. When he's offered a cigarette, he says, I'm not going to smoke because I'm trying to quit smoking. Another person who's also trying to quit smoking says, well, I'm not going to smoke because I'm not a smoker. So that little nuanced distinction, I'm trying to quit smoking versus I'm not a smoker. I'm not a smoker is your identity. Hey, I'm not this person. I'm health conscious. I care about my life. I care about my lungs, right? That is who I am. So when you start to associate habits with your identity, you are going into what Simon Sinek calls your deeper why, right? That is connected with who you really are as a person. And so I quit smoking because I'm not a smoker. So your identity is not a smoker. I run because I'm a runner. So your identity is, well, I'm a runner, so I'm going to run. Like there's no two ways about it. Or I'm a great parent because I spend time with my kids. So there's no two ways. Well, am I a good parent or not? Well, there's no ambiguity once you identify you're a great parent. I exercise because I'm health conscious. So I don't have to motivate myself to work out every day. I don't have to do these exercises. I am going to do it because that's who I am. I care about my health, right? So in the same vein, I make videos because I'm a business owner. I care about marketing. I care about reaching people. I care about sharing my message. I care about being seen as an expert in the industry. I care about branding myself. I care about personal branding. I think that videos are going to help me do all of this. So I make videos because I'm a business owner. That is who I am. So when you tie in habits to who you are and you own that, it just makes it so much more doable because you're like, well, this is who I am. So of course, if I am this, then I'm going to do that, right? It just becomes so much more logical and you don't need to justify it to yourself all the time. Well, should I make videos or not? Or should I do marketing for my business or not? Or should I make more sales? Or should I try this YouTube thing or video thing or whatever, right? You're like, well, this is who I am. So of course I'm going to do that, right? So it just becomes a non-question and you eliminate that decision. So you don't have to decide whether you are or not. You are. Once you've decided that you are, then the habits flow from there. Hi, Shanette. Thanks for catching the stream. Ali Balagwala, yes, thank you so much for joining in. Guys, if you're just joining into the stream, welcome. The question to answer in the live chat is, what is the habit that you want to build in 2020 with regards to video creation? Let me know in the chat. What is that one habit you want to build? Okay. Olga is saying, I spent 4 hours this Saturday working on my Jan to April video schedule, including SEO, thumbnail text, etc., etc. And I know exactly why Olga is doing this and she's on track is because she took my YouTube Launchpad course and now she knows exactly how to create a 90-day video content plan. And that is one of my biggest wins as well in terms of habit creation. And I'll show you some examples of that. But good on you, Olga, and thank you for sharing that. All right, so let's get on to what is called the habit loop. So how are habits actually formed? So now we're getting into more of the practical side of the training, okay? So every single habit has 4 sections to it. There's the cue, there's the craving, there's the response, and there's the reward, okay? So what do all of these mean? So let me give you some practical ideas for what these may look like. So cue might be that you wake up. The craving might be that you want to feel alert. So your response would be that you drink coffee. And the reward is you satisfy your craving and associate coffee with feeling alert, right? So your response is directly related to the craving. So how you respond is directly related, right? Okay, so every habit follows this 4-part sequence. There's a cue in every habit, something that makes you want to do something, right? There's a craving that alerts you to, okay, well, this is what I really need. And then there's the response, which is what you actually do. And then the reward of how you feel after you've done that. So let's look at what the habit loop might look like for you in terms of video creation. So let's say you watch a video that inspires you. That's your cue. You watch a video, maybe one of mine or somebody else's, and you're like, wow, I really want to get into video marketing, right? So the craving is, well, I want more views. Like, I would love more subscribers. I would love more views. I would love my video to be seen, be commented on or shared, right? Whatever that craving might look like for you. So your response is you make a video, right? And then the reward is that you satisfy your craving and associate making a video with getting more views, right? So that is the habit loop in terms of video creation. Now let's look at what are the 4 laws of habit creation that are associated with these 4 parts of the habit loop. So how can you make sure that you get that cue? How can you make sure that you develop that craving? How can you make sure that you get a response going? And how do you make sure that the reward is something you really want? So the 4 laws of habit, of creating sticky habits is, the first law is related to the cue. So you want to make the cue obvious. The second law is to make the craving attractive. The third law is to make the response easy. And the fourth law is to make the reward satisfying. I'm going to pause here for a second. And I want to ask you a quick question. Which one of these is something that you want to do? Do you want to make your habits obvious? Do you want to make them attractive? Do you want to make them easy? Or do you want to make them satisfying to do? I know for me, easy is usually the thing that gets me going the most, right? If something is easy to do and satisfying. So both of those two are really huge drivers for me. Like, I get immense satisfaction from my work. And if it's easy, then that's a bonus. But I would love to know, what are the 2 biggest drivers of growth for you when things are obvious, when they're attractive, when they're easy, or when they're satisfying to do? So let me know in the comments while I take a quick sip of my tea and give my breath a chance to catch up. And I'm feeling hot right now as well. There's like softbox lights on me here, and I think that's a good thing because I was feeling so cold right before I started this live stream. Like I said, 8 degrees, just madness here. That's centigrade for you, Celsius if you're in America. I have no idea. Convert it to Fahrenheit, but it's cold. But I'm finally feeling hot, so I'm thinking of taking a layer off. All right. Let's do this. It's good to feel warm. Okie dokie. So which one of these 4 laws looks the most appealing to you to do? Let me know. And let's get into it. I'm going to move forward. So the habit loop now looks like this. So you want the cue to be obvious. You want the craving to be attractive, the response to be easy, and you want the reward to be satisfying. So what does that look like in practical terms? I have some great examples for you, especially if you're getting started with video creation. Alrighty, make the cue obvious. What does that mean? And what does it look like in practical terms? So it could look like something like this. And this term is called habit stacking, where you build one habit on top of another habit. Okay. So I will wake up, I will do my hair and makeup, and I will make a video with my phone. Now, what that does, now remember, the cue is to make it obvious. Now, for a lot of people, and this is a personal example for me, if I don't look the part, I don't want to get on video. So hair and makeup for me is sort of like the catalyst. That is what a cue is. If I know that my hair looks okay, like it's washed, clean, those are the primary considerations, and I've got my makeup on, for video, and then I feel more ready to create a video. On the flip side, not having hair and makeup done sometimes is a great obstacle to me wanting to make videos that day. So what I do is I tend to plan this out in advance. So I will try and take a shower a day earlier, because second day hair, you all, second day hair is the best. I'm going on record with that. Okay. So I get second day hair, which is easier to maintain and it's not like little flyaways everywhere. And I have my makeup done, and suddenly I'm in the mood to get on camera. And it could just be like an Instagram video or a picture or whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be a full-fledged YouTube video, but that gets me into the mood to create videos. So that is a huge, huge catalyst for me. Doing my hair and makeup or getting it done. Sometimes I get it done professionally. I'll go and get a blow dry done, which is also when I get my hair dyed and all. So it's a catalyst for me, and I plan this event out in advance. So I know that I want to have a video shoot, let's say on a Monday. So I'm going to go on a Sunday and get my hair done, just so I can be prepared. So that is a huge cue for me, right? Yes, Sharnette is saying, oh my God, yes, getting ready is a step in making it obvious. Thank you. It's a thing for me too. I need to just get up and get ready. And yes, second day hair, especially for curls. Woohoo, girl, I'm feeling you. But yeah, so, just the act of being prepared to make videos sometimes is the cue that you need. Let me give you guys another example to habit stacking, right? I will write 3 things to say. I will turn on the phone and I will record those 3 things. Now, this is a great one for those people who are stuck with, well, I don't know what my script should be. I don't know what to talk about. And I'm going to give you some more examples, down the presentation of what to talk about. But if you just write 3 things to say, okay, this is what I'm going to talk about, these 3 things. I'm going to talk about this, this, and this. So for example, if I'm doing a live stream on habit creation, I could say, I'm going to talk about 3 things I'm going to talk about. What is the 1% rule? What is the habit loop, right? And what are the 4 laws of habit creation? And those could be the 3 things that I talk about. And I actually filmed an Instagram IGTV video today, just about those 3 things. I haven't actually published it yet, which I'm going to do later today, but just about those 3 things. So as soon as I say, okay, I will write down 3 things to say, and I write those 3 things down and I turn on the phone, I know exactly what I want to talk about, right? So that is another cue for me to get started. So one cue example was be ready, like have your camera face on, right? Another cue was know what you're going to say. And that could mean you actually physically write it down, whether you take a pen and a paper and write it down, or do it as I do in Evernote. So either way. So those are some great ways to make the cue obvious. So I would love to know in the comments and the live chat, what might be some ways that you could make video creation more obvious for you? What is something that you could do that could make the cue obvious, the catalyst more obvious for you? So if you have any ideas, put them down and we'll, read them out loud and discuss them and see if they can work. One of the biggest cues for me was to create my video content plan, which Olga was just referring to up earlier in the chat, because that plan just makes me feel super prepared. And if you guys want my plan, it's a free 90-day video content plan. You can get that again from the description. Everything that I'm talking about, all the links are in the description, right? So you can download that. But the real beauty of that was, look at that consistency graph. Like, just look at the bottom there, the numbers. As soon as I made that plan, I got more consistent, right? And for me, knowing what I want to say. So inside the plan, it's like, okay, doing the keyword research, coming up with the topics, knowing how to SEO your video, knowing what your call to action is going to be, what your thumbnails are going to be, what your B-roll is going to be, what your script might look like. All of that planning, once it's done, I'm just more ready to create videos. Like I know what I want to say, and then I can get excited about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to talk about this. And I've done all the planning. I've done all the prep work. I know this video will rank because I've done the video SEO work on it. And it just becomes like a catalyst for me to actually go ahead and create those videos. So think about using the video content plan as your cue. I know that it helped me. I know that it helps my clients who are in my course, who are using this plan and implementing it. And I know that it will help you. All right, let's get to making the craving attractive. So this is not a chocolate craving. And side note, I've had a lot of chocolate today, but I had a dessert craving. I actually, oh my God, I've had a lot of chocolate. I ordered waffles. I had Ferrero Rochers, and that's it. That's a lot of chocolate for me in one day. But how do we make the craving attractive? So, of course, the craving to create a video. How do you make that attractive? It almost sounds impossible to do. One of the quotes that I love from the book, Atomic Habits, is instead of relying on motivation, put yourself in an environment where you are likely to be more inspired. And that is where making your craving attractive comes from. So when you put yourself in an environment, and let me share with you the example that James gives inside the book. He says that this guy, he wanted to have children who were chess prodigies. So this is like in the 1920s, 1930s or something, right? And he wanted to make his children chess prodigies. So when his children were born, he had 3 girls. Each of these 3 girls was given extensive training in chess. The family played chess all the time. The girls were homeschooled. They developed a liking and an affinity for chess. And excelling in chess became the new normal. So it was never weird. It was never like, oh, she's 4 years old and playing chess. That's so weird, or that's such like she's such a genius. No, it was normal in their household to love chess, to play it, to excel in it, to want to do good in it, right? So you want to be the same way, and you want to make sure that you put yourself in an environment of like-minded people so that the thing that you want to do, other people are doing, and it looks really, really attractive to you to do it as well. So a couple of ideas. So one way you could do that is by joining a culture where your desired behavior is the norm. So for example, you could say, I will join a Facebook group where business owners share their latest videos every week so I can be one of them and share my link too. Excuse me. So I have a Facebook group called Personal Branding with Video, and every Saturday I host a post where you can share your video link, and lots of video creators and entrepreneurs share their latest video link. And it's a culture where everyone's creating weekly videos, and then they're sharing their weekly videos, and then they're getting more comments and shares and views on their weekly videos because they are in a group where creating videos is the norm. So you want to join a culture where creating videos is the norm. And there are plenty of Facebook groups, communities, people, networks that you can join. So if you want to join my Facebook group, the link is again in the description. It's called Personal Branding with Video. I'd love to have you inside if making videos as an entrepreneur is one of the goals that you want to achieve for 2020. So that is one way of making the craving attractive, because when you see all those people sharing those links, you will be like, oh, I want to be one of them. That looks good. Like, look at these guys. If they can do it, I can do it too. You know, it is just super, super empowering to have being surrounded and being in an environment where people are just doing it. No excuses. They are doing it, right? It's really powerful. So another example would be, reframe your habits to highlight the benefits versus the drawbacks, right? So you want to make something attractive, right? So to make something attractive, you want to think about the attractive goal, the pot of gold at the end. You know, you don't want to think about all the work. You want to think about what is it you're really after. So instead of thinking, well, I have to make a video today, think, I get to help someone who may be struggling with depression, weight loss, who may be struggling with financial planning, whatever your industry is, right? So your end goal is really you want to identify your why. Again, why do you want to make a video? Like instead of saying, I have to make a video, no, I get to make videos to help people achieve this, that, or whatever. Another way of saying that might be instead of thinking, oh, making videos is so hard, which is so whiny and complaining, right? You think, not everyone can do what I do, and I'm very lucky, right? Actually, I get to do this. I get to think that I can do this. I get to practice this. Not everyone is able to overcome that, right? I really am lucky that I am working towards overcoming it, getting confident, getting better, right? So think of what you are doing, right? Yes, I get to make a video. Definitely. Another way of reframing your thinking is instead of thinking, well, I don't know what to talk about next, think, well, how about I share that talk I had with the client because others might benefit from it too, right? You have talks all the time on social media, on private channels with people. What if you were to take one of the conversations you've already had with someone and they were like, this was really good, or this was really helpful, or this was really valuable, and you share it with a whole lot of other people through a YouTube video. So instead of thinking, well, I don't know what to talk about, which is kind of a bummer and a big excuse, really, if you're being honest with yourself, because everyone talks about stuff all the time, right? If you were to meet somebody, you'd start talking to them, you'd have something or the other to talk about. So it's kind of a cop out to say that I don't know what to talk about next. But another way of reframing that is to think about the last time you added value, talk about that. Right. So, these are some of the ways that you can make your craving attractive. So you feel like, oh, I really want to do this. When you think I'm going to be helping someone struggling with depression, you're like, I really have to make this video. Or you're a marriage counselor thinking, I can help people, communicate better in their marriages and have better relationships. And I really want to make this video because this work is important to me. Right. So you want to reframe the benefits because they're meaningful to you. They remind you of why you got in this business or why you want to get in front of the camera to begin with, right? So make sure that you don't come from a whining, complaining, this is hard, this is work kind of place, but reframe it to make sure that it makes you feel good about yourself to do that thing. So that is a great way to make the cravings attractive. All right, so the third law is to make the response easy. Now, this is the one that the most people have problems with. And they're like, video creation is really hard. I don't have the right gear. I don't have expensive equipment. I don't know how to shoot. And this is the big one. I don't know how to edit my videos. So therefore, I cannot have the response of, I will make a video. So how do you change that? And how do you build a habit that makes the response easy? How do you make video creation easy? So I'm going to give you some examples. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you are enjoying this live stream, so I know that it's hitting home. And if you have questions, of course, let me know in the comments as well. Jeffrey, good morning. Good to have you here. FG Network. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Awesome to have everyone here. So many people in. Just let me know. Let me know if I'm on the right track with this. You guys are getting it. You guys are excited about it. And you are enjoying the information that I have repurposed from the book Atomic Habits and applied it to video creation, because why not, right? So, and that's kind of my thing, taking ideas and then making sure that I use them in some way and then I share them. So Dean Reynolds, thumbs up. Thank you so much. Okay. How do you make the response easy? So get ready. Here are some hard-hitting ideas coming at you. So you can invoke the law of least effort, right? So the law of least effort states that do the least amount of work towards the goal that you are trying to reach. So if you can make a YouTube video, make a Facebook video. For a lot of people, YouTube has a lot of moving parts and they don't know how to do SEO or thumbnail design, yada, yada, yada. And making a Facebook video is as easy as hitting a button and you just say, you know what, I'm just going to make a Facebook video. If you can't make a Facebook video, make an Instagram video. Even easier, 60 seconds, and that's it. Like literally, that's an Instagram video. If you can't make an Instagram video, make an IG story. It's going to disappear in 24 hours. So there's no fear of, oh my God, are people going to see this? If that's the fear, then it's like, okay, make an IG story. If you can't make an IG story, make a video using your webcam or your phone, but don't publish it. Like, invoke the law of least effort. Just get started. And I will tell you, I've told this story many times before, but I got started with Periscope videos. So I didn't even start on YouTube. Like, I was scared of YouTube. I didn't know how to do YouTube videos, really. I thought they took a lot of time and effort and production value and God knows what else. And so I started with Periscope videos. And once I got comfy with that, it took away the fear of, oh, well, can I even perform on camera? Right. So, in Periscope's kind of dead now, but it was great when it lasted. And I was on there for about a year making videos. It was the live streaming service by Twitter. And so that's how I made videos. That's how I got started making videos. So the law of least effort is do whatever you can, make whatever kind of videos you can. You just want to get that practice in. You just want to get that you want to get those what do they call them in the gym? Those reps. Those the repeatable exercises you do to gain confidence, right? Or to build muscle, reps. So you just want to get those reps in, right? You just want to do the practice, get the hours in, get the work in, whatever it takes. So just make video, whatever platform, it does not matter. So make it easy for yourself to get into the habit of making videos. Okay, how else can you make video creation easy? Here's another one. Aim to just show up. Let's say you give yourself the excuse, I don't have time to make a full YouTube video, so I'll just create a short video story today. So YouTube has a video story option. Instagram has a video story option. Facebook has a video story option, right? I mean, you can do a video story on Twitter for 60 seconds. You could do a short video story on just about any platform. You could just do it free on your own desktop or your phone and just email it to your email subscribers if you don't want to share it on social media. A second example, I am not feeling well today, so instead of a video showing my face, I'll make an image and text video with photographs of myself. Be creative, right? The objective is to get a video out. Doesn't matter how you do it. For the longest time, one of the biggest channels that I follow, Charisma on Command, just made videos with other people's footage and other people's photographs and their text and their voiceover. They never even showed the guy never even showed his face on camera. So if you don't want to show your face, find a way to get creative and make a video using a montage, using memes, using GIFs, using photographs. There's so much you can do. There's so many creative elements that you can do. Okay. The third example, I can't possibly record today because I have no script ready. So I'll just go live and answer some FAQs, frequently asked questions in my industry. And I've done this before. Like, I was like, I don't have a script and I need to get a video out today. And so I just went live. By the way, I'm doing that today because I don't have my videos ready yet. And I'm working on them right now and I didn't want to rush it. And I usually release a video on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. EST. And I was like, I don't have a video. So I've been wanting to do this live stream. Let me just do it on a Tuesday in lieu of my recorded video. So there you go. That's another way. If you aim to just show up, you will find a way. You will figure it out. If your objective is to just show up and make it easy for yourself, doesn't matter how, doesn't matter, if you don't have all the pieces together, doesn't matter if it's not perfect, doesn't matter if it's not the same as you wanted it to be, but aim to just show up. Right? And that is how you can make video creation just so much easier. Take the pressure off of yourself. It doesn't have to be a certain way. It can be whatever way you decide to do it. Whatever way you decide. It's your channel. You're in charge. There are no rules. It's you. It's your creativity. So make it work for you. Make it easy for yourself. Okay. And this one is my favorite. Invoke the 2-minute rule. A new habit should take less than 2 minutes to do. So you could say, today I will record a video for 1 minute only. Like, literally put a constraint on yourself and turn it off at the end of one video. Tomorrow I will record a video for 2 minutes only. Again, put a timer on, shut it off at 2 minutes. Day after tomorrow, I will record a video for 3 minutes only. And by the end of the week, I will record for 5 minutes. So when you invoke the 2-minute rule, and you put a constraint and you say, well, I'm going to do this new habit. Like, I'm not sure right now. A 5-minute video seems like a big task. A 10-minute video seems like even a more bigger task. And this is especially for those of you who are like afraid of editing. And you're like, it's going to take too much time to edit a video. And I don't know how to edit a video. This 2-minute rule is for you. There is not a lot that can go wrong in 1 minute. Really, there isn't. You can talk for a minute. You can show something for a minute. You can live stream for a minute. You can do a lot in a minute, right? So when you're starting a new habit, make it easy for yourself and don't build up the huge expectations that you see your role models doing. Like, you don't have to do a comprehensive tutorial on the topic. You could just do an introduction to the topic. You could just do your take on it. You could just do, here's what I'm thinking today about this. Just a 1-minute video or a 2-minute video. Invoke the 2-minute rule and start a new habit by just doing that new habit for 2 minutes and then shutting shop. Be like, okay, that's it. I'm not going to worry about this anymore. Okay. But that's a way to just make it easy on yourself, because why make it hard when you can have all of these ways to make it easy, right? Okay. Q Aquatics is saying great info. Thank you. GD Diaries is saying host. Segun Akande is saying, well done. Thank you so much. Word, you are right. Thank you, Gigi. FG Network is saying, hi, Sharnette. I'm coming from, okay. Wow, thank you for sharing this. Very great topic. Thank you for being here. Grim Monolith is saying, only lazy people need this 2-minute rule, I'm assuming. That may be true, and it's fine. Whatever works. I mean, this entire live stream is do whatever works. If that works for you, great. You know, if, yeah, exactly. A video only needs to be as long as it needs to be. And people are more likely to watch something short. I agree. There is no need to do an hour's worth of video if you can have a much shorter version, or go for an hour if you have things to say and things to talk about. So it really doesn't matter what the length of the video is, but this is just a way to get started. If you have this idea in your head that you have to do a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video or even like a longer video, if you have this idea in your head and it's stopping you from starting, invoke the 2-minute rule and get started. Like, just get started, make shorter videos, but get started making them. The more you make those shorter videos, the more likely you are in the future to make whatever videos your audience wants to see, whether they're longer or shorter or the same length or whatever, right? So really, it is just all about making sure that you address your fears and you use these tricks of habit formation to overcome those fears and to change the narrative inside your mind. Nothing should be done a certain way. Nothing has to be done a certain way. It's all up to your interpretation of things. And why not make it easy on yourself? Okay, the last rule is make the reward satisfying. I love this one. Okay. So how do you make the reward satisfying? And before I go there, Lynn is saying, hi, I recorded a 1-minute test video after watching your videos. Thanks so much for your tips. Thank you. Linny, thank you so much. I appreciate you and thank you for sharing that. Conviviality, thank you for your content and your wonderful energy. Woohoo! It's been very encouraging and useful to me, and I hope to start soon. Let me know. Thank you. Ali is saying, I'm going to save this video and go over this. I need to chew on this slowly and take action. All right, Ali, you do that and take some notes. One quick word of caution, though, the replay will only be up for 24 hours. After that, it will live inside my Patreon live streaming tier. So if you want to watch this video again after 24 hours, I would highly suggest becoming a member of my Patreon membership. It is super affordable. The link is in the description to join the Patreon if you want to watch these kind of videos. And I will be doing these once a month. And all the replays are going to be inside the membership site. But yeah, the next 24 hours are yours. Watch it as many times as you want. All right, let's get into the fourth law of creating sticky habits, which is make the reward satisfying. So when you create a habit, you have some kind of expectation of a reward from that habit. You expect it'll make your life better. You expect that it'll make you more successful. Obviously, you expect a reward. And the mistake that most people make is tying in instant gratification to the entire goal. What you want to do is tie in small itty bitty wins. So you want to be satisfied in the moment while still working towards that larger goal. So how do you have these small wins? How do you be satisfied in the moment, right? So I have some ideas for you. So one way that you could do that is through analytics, and YouTube provides a lot of analytics. And I'm a stats nerd, so I love watching my graph go up and stay up. So one of the stats I like to look at is tracking real-time viewers. So I go to the YouTube Studio app, right? And it's a free app. You can use it on iPhones, Androids, whatever. And you just download that app and it'll tell you how many views you're getting in real time. So literally this graph changes in real time. Every minute it's updated. And it's just fascinating to see, wow. Like for example, there was this moment, I guess on, I don't know, January 14th, 100 people were watching my videos. Like they were on my channel. I was getting those views. It's just extremely rewarding and extremely satisfying to see that the work you've put in is being viewed by someone. You know, it's just for me, because I'm a stats nerd, stats really speak. So instead of views, you could be tracking subscriber rates, you could be tracking AdSense revenue, you could be tracking watch time metrics, and they're all available inside the YouTube Studio apps. You could be doing this on your phone, on the go, 48 hours after you've created a video to track its progress, all those things. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, in the last 48 hours, I got 3,300 views and my highest has been 3,500 that I've actually seen. So one of my goals could be like, okay, I want to get this up to 4,000 views after January, maybe, you know, so I want to get those views up. And the more videos I create, the more, actually, the app is real time. The entire app isn't, but the real time views are. If you refresh it, if you pull it down and refresh the app, these views will change. So this part of the app, where it says real time, this is actually real time. So the rest of the app is not. Okay, just to clarify that. Okay, so that's one way that I make the reward satisfying, because it's satisfying to see that it's being viewed. Another way is to remind yourself of the real world benefits of your work. So when people leave comments like, thank you for sharing your research, it's motivating to focus on. Or somebody says, wow, this has been so interesting. I had no idea this was even available. Or somebody says, hello, Salma, thanks so much. I'm starting to focus in a specific niche, but I found it extremely competitive. I'm so happy I found you, since your information opened my eyes to a whole new world in the health niche. And I'm changing everything today. When you read comments like these, it is immensely rewarding and satisfying, because you can instantly see that the video that you created is making a difference. It's making people question things, change things, motivating them, giving them new information. And you just feel like your work matters. And to me, there is nothing more rewarding than that. Than knowing that what I'm doing matters, knowing that what I'm creating has value, it's helping somebody. So that is extremely rewarding and satisfying for me. And I would love to know what would be something that would be rewarding and satisfying for you when you create videos. What would make you feel really, really good about creating videos? Find that and use that as your inspiration to make more videos. All right. Let's recap some of the things that I wanted to repeat. All the links from this live stream can be found in the description, including the link to get the book. If you've been inspired by this live stream, you can read about all the examples and the stories and the science-backed explanations for habit creation. I think it's a wonderful book, and I would highly, highly recommend you read it. So you can grab the book from the link in the description. You can also get my video content plan from the description. You can join my Facebook group from the description. You can get TubeBuddy, which I talked about a little bit, from the description. So all of that, all the links are down below. Just to recap, the replay will be up for 24 hours only. So this time tomorrow, this replay will go down. It will, however, exist inside my Patreon membership. And Patreon members will have access to the entire replay. And if you would like to be part of future live streams, that means you actually want to be live on camera with me, and you want to be being able to ask questions live in a meeting room. So I'm actually streaming this from Zoom. So you would join the Zoom meeting room with me, and we can actually have a conversation. We can talk about where you're stuck and what habit creation might look like for you. Like if you were on this live stream, that's what we would talk about. But next month, it'll be another topic. But you also get to choose topics if you're part of the live streaming tier. So you can choose the topics for the live streams. You can ask questions live, and all of that is inside the Patreon membership, which is a affordable way to connect with me, work with your peers, and get support, and just feel like you are part of a community. Remember, the second rule of the craving was make it attractive. Join a community of like-minded entrepreneurs doing what you want to do. Okay, so yeah, we shall debate the real-time accuracy of the YouTube Studio app at some other point. Your question is, so what does TubeBuddy do? So I would highly suggest checking out my TubeBuddy tutorial. It is a tool that does a whole lot of things. They're primarily known for their video SEO capabilities. You get to plan out your topics. You get to find out what keywords to use in your titles, but it's so much more than that. And I did a review video showcasing 4 of the features that I use the most with regards to TubeBuddy. So just literally go type in Salma Jaffrey TubeBuddy tutorial, and you should be guided straight to that video. All right, guys, I want to say thank you for joining in today. And I want to say that if you join in live, thank you so much. I will be around to answer questions for the time that this replay is up, which is about the next 24 hours or so. So if you have any questions around habit formation, if you have any ideas, and I'm sure you guys do, I'm sure that my examples were my examples, but I'm sure that you have examples of things that have worked for you, or things that you're thinking of as you're watching this, and you're like, oh, I could make this work for me, or I could make videos in this way. I would love to know that, because when you share that in the comments, it's not just me listening or reading, it's everyone else who's also benefiting by your insightful comments. And dropping insightful comments is a great way to grow your YouTube channel, by the way. So I'd encourage you to do that. And I'm going to quickly answer some questions coming in, okay? Michael Helly, Selma, what's your thinking on personal name or keyword-rich topic-based channel name or brand? So the way that I like to answer this question, Michael, is that if you have a personal brand, then go with your personal name, because that way you can pivot, you can change, you can do whatever. You'll always have your brand under your name umbrella. If you have a corporate brand, you have other people working with you, you have partnerships, you have a corporate entity, then you can highlight the corporate brand and make sure that that becomes the name and face of your YouTube channel. What size channel is TubeBuddy good for? So TubeBuddy is good for any size channel, especially because they have 3 tiers, and they start from helping small creators. They offer you a discount if you have under 1,000 subscribers. So they're extremely good for small channels. And then they have advanced features like A/B testing and stuff, which is usually on the higher tier level. So it's applicable for any size channel, and you can always try before you buy. So you can just get the free version, and it's free. I mean, it restricts you in terms of features, but it's free forever. So you can just go ahead and try it out. You are so welcome. I'm glad that you liked the ideas. And okay, I'm going to take this last question before I end. They say YouTube doesn't use keywords for search anymore. Is this true? So YouTube has devalued tags to a certain degree. However, in the first 24 to 48 hours, tags still help you rank. After that, they're not so important because YouTube is looking more at the content of your video. It's looking more at retention. It's looking more at watch time, and it's looking more at interaction with your videos. So it's looking at all these other variables, but initially, before it has gathered enough data of what your video is about, tags are still important, again, during the first 24 to 48 hours. Any words of encouragement for starting a channel when the niche is not clear? Yeah, sure. So, I mean, if you look at my older videos, my niche was content marketing tips, and I thought I wanted to talk more about content marketing. And the best thing that I did was just get started, and I pivoted in the middle at some point there and niched into video marketing. So, my best advice would be that just start with what you think you want to talk about right now. As you started, you'll know whether you want to continue with it or not. You can't just guess in your head. You've actually got to put some action behind it to know if it's something you want to do for sure or not. So action is more important to me than just idealizing things on paper or just thinking about it. Go ahead and try out the niche, even if it's not clear. Deshaun is saying, I was looking for your OBS video, but can't seem to find it. Did you take it down? No, I did not take it down, actually. It's still up there. I'm forgetting what the title was called. I think it was called How to Do a Live Stream. Search for live stream. I'm not. I don't remember if I had OBS in the title. But what I can do is come back and reply in the comments if I don't have OBS in the title. But no, that video has not been taken down. Let me think of the playlist it was in. It was in the I can't remember. I can't remember the playlist it was in. But again, it's not been taken down. I hope you find it. Oh, sorry, I wasn't more helpful with that. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you as well. And thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you, everyone who joined today. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for having great questions to begin with, and just thank you for being here today. Again, I hope to do this once a week. Typically on Fridays is the live stream. So this week I'll skip Friday, and from next week it'll be Friday live streams. And for the Patreon ones, that's once a month for the Patreon live streams. So thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon. Take care for today, and bye.